good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this from. Our group is Group Gardenia, and we're from ME1. My name is Dinesh.
My name is Ina.
I'm Kishren.
My name is Dinish Mutu.
And today we'll be presenting about our assignment, our research on the inquiry on the awareness regarding climate change among residents of West Malaysia. Let's go.
Good day everyone. As you all know, climate change has been a heavily discussed topic nowadays. It has been observed that icebergs in the North Pole and also South Pole are melting. Forests around the world are on fire, like recently in Amazon and in Indonesia. And furthermore, air pollution is increasing due to all these forest fires in Amazon and Indonesia. And day by day, the earth is getting hotter and hotter. Certain human activities are to be blamed, and they are the main cause that contribute to this climate change. Scientists are exploring ways to improve the world's climate and reverse back our global temperature. Me and my fellow group mates, we did a research on climate change, and we intend to apply scientific inquiry methods of analysis.
Hi, so now we will talk about the introduction. So, as said in the abstract, we now know what is climate change and all about it and how it's affecting us. So that's basically what we talk about in the first paragraph here. And based on Palin, in her article, she said climate change is one of the key problems faced by each country. But more towards how we conducted this assignment, we followed the steps for scientific inquiry that we learned in class. First, we made an observation. We did this by using our sensors to view the surrounding and how climate change has affected us and our environment. For example, the haze, the air quality, global warming. From that, we then posed a question. Since our assignment was about climate change awareness, we were curious whether people were actually aware about the climate change that was going on and the bad effects that it will bring. So we then formed a hypothesis. For our hypothesis, we thought that only partial of the population of West Malaysia were actually aware of climate change. But we could only know the real hypothesis, the real conclusion, after we conducted the experiment, which was the next step. For the experiment, we were given a survey by our lecturer, but we decided to convert it into a Google form as it was more convenient for people to fill, and it is also more environmental friendly. We did not have to print hundreds of pages for 54 respondents to fill. So we went around Ipoh, Penang, Selangor, Sri Iskandar, basically West Malaysia, and we showed people the QR code, and for distant relatives, we just forwarded the QR link. From that, we gathered information as they were required to answer approximately 20 questions regarding climate change awareness. From the data we collected, we interpreted it together through analysis, graphs, pie charts, and finally we drew a conclusion and compared it to our initial null hypothesis. We found out about an alternate hypothesis and whether it was more accurate than the initial hypothesis, and from that, only in the conclusion section of this video will we find out the real conclusion.
So we've collected some articles about climate change. The first article is about climate change and changes in the global pattern. The author is by Dnesh Jothiahnantham from Science Direct. So what do we know from climate change? Climate change, to give you a brief definition, is basically the sudden change in the weather pattern. Scientists have confirmed that climate change is happening at a faster pace due to current human activities. Some of the human activities include deforestation and industrialization, which release excessive amounts of greenhouse gases to our atmosphere. Greenhouse gas is a type of gas that basically has a heat trapping effect. and the normal levels of greenhouse gases in our Earth's atmosphere is actually vital to support life on Earth. But currently, due to all these human activities, we are having more greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, which is very bad because it causes a shocking increase in temperature in our Earth, and that leads to global warming, which is the main driving factor in climate change. The second article we collected is Global Warming Effects by Nicholas P. from National Geographic. So what are some of the effects, you ask? Some of the effects include rise in sea levels, which is caused by the melting of ice and glaciers from the northern and southern region. The rising temp affects habitats of animals which causes them to move to a new habitat, and they usually move towards the northern region where it's cooler. Also, to humans, it has a lot of health complications. Example, air pollution can cause people to have asthma. Professional scientists have said that if this problem is not stopped soon, there will be future effects, such as it will cause more flood and droughts to certain areas around the world, spread of certain or new kind of diseases, and also the ever-changing ecosystem in our environment will cause extinction of certain species. The last article is about what can we do to stop climate change by MBD from New Internationalists. So we as humans, as individuals, what can we do? So example, we can cut down energy usage and turn them off and not in use. Also, we should avoid driving and use public transports. And if the distance we are traveling to is short, we should use bicycle or walk there. Moreover, instead of using electricity in our homes, we should install solar panels in our home to contribute to a greener environment. And lastly, we should try to spread awareness about climate change to especially the younger generation.
Hello, I'm Dinish. I will be discussing about the analysis and discussion for the survey. So first thing about the question is, the Malaysian people are aware of which problems in this Malaysia. So we take survey about the climate change and the pollution happen in the Malaysia. Especially we take the survey in the Ipoh, Batu Gajah, Seri Skandar, Penang and Selangor. So we have collected around 54 responses from 54 respondents. So these are the data we have collected. So the first one will be the air pollution, pollution of rivers. So it shows that Malaysian people are aware of this type of phenomena that happen in Malaysia. Second one is the one people are aware of climate change, which we get to know that more than 50% of the data shows that Malaysian people are aware of the climate change in Malaysia. The database, the pie chart above shows that respondents chose the climate change option most because they can see the pollutions in the real life, such as the pollution of rivers and seas and air pollution. So the next one is the data shows about the third question in the survey. The data shows that people are also aware of other effects caused by the climate change. Example of the other effects are global warming, haze, and so on. So there are more than 50% of the respondents have agreed that they are also affected by the other climate changes effects. Next. This graph shows that people have experienced the effects caused by the climate change. The most effects experienced by the respondents are global warming and haze. This is because Malaysian is the most common phenomena, which is haze. Because every end of the year, Malaysian people will experience the haze in Malaysia. Especially people from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor will face the problem frequently because they are more nearer to the Indonesia compared to other states.
Okay, these are the data for question number 20. Question below were disagreed by most of the public. First one is question F. This is the data for question F. The question is, human activities have no significant impact on global temperatures. And moving on to question Q. This is the data for question Q. And the question is, I like to consider information about climate change to be irrelevant to me. And the next one is question S. This data for question S, and the question for question S is, it is too early to say whether climate change is really a problem. And moving on, question B. This is data for question B. There is no point in me doing anything about climate change because no one else is. And the last question is question AA, double A. And this is data for the question AA. And the question is, I do not believe climate change is a real problem. And as a summary for this whole data, people, they are actually aware of climate change. Whoever disagree to all these 5 questions, a huge number of people selected strongly agree option for the question A. And this data for question A. This might be because small contribution made by individuals can make a difference for the environment. For example, an individual can avoid open burning in order to prevent air pollution. Retna.
Okay, so meanwhile, from this conclusion, we were actually curious why so many people were aware, but the condition of our environment was not becoming better. Instead, it was becoming worse, and global warming was increasing, more climate change problems were appearing. So, from this curiosity, we found out through research that people actually had lack of knowledge on how to improve such conditions. For example, according to Mike Berners-Lee, lifestyle changes are no substitute for collective action. This means we have to actually work together through even small contributions in helping the environment become better. For example, we can carpool, or we can also take public transport. All these were suggested throughout the assignment on how to improve the conditions of our environment. Hence, not only citizens of West Malaysia, but all of us throughout this whole world, we have to work hand in hand to overcome all problems, even if our actions are small, but as long as the direction we are going towards is a healthier and safer environment, so that the future generation can live a peaceful and healthy life.
So that's all from us from today, from your favorite bread brand, Gardenia. You can even eat it on its own.